Regrets, I've had a few.
But then again, too few to mention. Frank Sinatra.
We are talking not about Frank, but regrets this morning. Because we sometimes can get boggled down with them.
We can't. You know, Whitney, this could be the shortest segment we've ever had. Let's take the Frank Sinatra song.
Okay.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. As long as you do it your way,
okay,
you'll have no regrets. And that's
the end of the segment. Is that the big message?
That's
do
the
it
message.
Your way.
And of course, it opens up the whole can of worms of being human, because we struggle with doing it my way or your way. We want to please others. We want to think of how we should be acting. I was saying to you earlier, if I'm not living in the world of shoulds and woulds and coulds, I'm not going to have that many regrets.
That's true.
Because I'm going to be living in that moment. I'm going to be living in that limits. It's like, if I didn't like someone when they were alive, why should I like them when they're dead? I can still say they had a right to live, but I don't need to be sitting around thinking, oh, I should have done this or I should.
It is what it is.
Just talk about it, people at home. What is regret? I think it's a fascinating subject, because I think we can overkill.
Okay.
Like, I should be having regrets, or I've got all these regrets, and it's like, for what?
Well, we had, my father, we had a family member who died, and he never liked her very much. He would hide from her when she would come over. And she died, and he was broken to pieces. And I said to my mother, what in the world? He didn't even like her. And she said, regret's the hardest thing to bury.
Yes. That's what your mom said?
Derelisms.
Derelisms.
But she is right. But, so that's...
Well, she's right only to the degree that, why am I regretful? I'm regretful because I should have liked her.
Yeah.
I should have
tried harder. Should have spent more time with them.
I should have spent more time.
You're right.
Again, that doesn't mean that that we're uncivil, or that we're disrespectful, or that we're sharp and mean. I'm not saying that. But to simply say, that I really don't necessarily connect with this person or get a whole lot of enjoyment from this person, I don't necessarily like myself when I'm with this person, those are things that we need to take into consideration with where we spend our energies and with whom we spend our energies.
Right.
And then we don't have regrets. It's like that. That's okay. It was what it was. But then there are some people that we're just going to be so grateful for everything we had with them.
Right.
I'm talking about people now, but we can also have maybe regrets about jobs, but I don't even know if that's fair to get too caught up in it.
Sure. Do you, but is part of the problem with regret and death, sometimes when those two things intersect, is it because it's so final?
It is final. And I will give you that.
Okay.
That there's something to that, because I do know people, and every once in a while I want to say to them, if she dies before you reconcile, you're not going to do very well. And people say, yeah, you're right. I'm like, okay, well then let's reconcile.
Work on it? Yeah.
Let's at least
try.
Get reconciled. Doesn't mean we're going to go back. Reconcile doesn't mean that we're going to start and repeat and go back to where we were.
Okay.
We can still go forward.
Okay.
And be reconciled. But Whitney, there's another thing about regret that I think we need to take into play too. We're human, and because we're human, we live in kind of a perfection spirituality. Here we go with that should. I should like her or him more. Well, why? Because it's the Christian thing to do? No, the Christian thing to do is to be charitable and to be humble and to be just, right?
Right.
To treat everyone fairly. Right.
I think sometimes when people feel that way about family, it's tougher because you're supposed to love your family, because you're supposed to, love your relatives, and some, we don't like them all.
and again, I would be willing to bet on camera that there are parents that like some of their children better than others.
Sure, sure.
And it's okay. The question is it fairness? Is it civil? Is it charitable? Is it respectful? I mean, my brother was always favored, but we got over it. He was always liked, Marty. He'll tell you.
Yes, he will. And your mother would have said the same thing. He is my favorite.
She would have said the same thing. But I just think that it's an interesting topic because it's one of those things that we need to maybe every once in a while, if not daily. You know, may I live a life that has no regret.
No regrets, yeah.
You know, may I live today to the fullest and accept the limitations and handle life and adapt to whatever comes my way without regret. May I make good decisions.
Certainly.
May I make the best decision possible and then leave the results to God. That's one of my favorite lines.
Mine too.
You know?
Mine
Just
too.
do my best and then leave the results to God. I don't have a magic wand that tells me what tomorrow's going to bring or how long I'm going to be alive or what's in store.
Good.
So anyway, that's...
Thank you. Today's challenge is let's all have no regrets.
I think it's a valid
I do too. Goal.
goal. I think it's a valid commitment.
I do.
And when they get in the way, we need to try to, okay, how can I do better with this so that I don't have any?
Perfect. Thanks, Dr. Nick. More Weekends with Whitney after this. And after the Solly.